What up,
Yo,
homie?
what it
How you
do?
how you doing, man?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm over here at the airport, so I can't even take this mask down.
Which airport are you at?
I don't want the what they call it. What is the Homeland Security to take me away? You know what I mean? Then I got the beard. They might be thinking, I'm coming from a far. I'm up to some hijinks. I'm in St.
Uh-huh.
Louis. I'm
St.
in St.
Louis.
Louis. Uh-huh.
Nice.
You know about the St. Louis Blues?
Yeah, man. I used to play hockey in St. Louis for a year.
I know you know. That's why I'm calling you, man. I'm recording this. I want to see
Yeah.
how this turns out, man, because I'm doing this thing called sports talk, right? And
Yeah. Okay.
so I'm just looking at this like this. How do we turn in everyday conversations around sports and just see what the Lord says to get insight from God's people? So I'm getting some insight from Jake Hannon right now, bro.
All right. All right. I'm here for you, man.
You know what I need insight on, man? So, last night, my boys was playing the New York Rangers.
Okay. Yep.
And you know what went down, boy, when I'm with the Capitals, crazy, right?
Okay. Okay. Yep.
So my question is, Jake, you playing hockey,
Yep.
they take your boy Frank, mush his face in the ice, they don't
Yeah.
suspend him. Next day you come out, the Zamboni does this thing, and it's time to play hockey, right?
Uh-huh.
And,
Yeah.
and it's like 5 seconds in, everybody just drops their gloves. Like, yo, what would Jake have done in a situation like that? What would you have said in the locker room? How 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 do you manage that, bro? Like, we know hockey's a sport for some tough dudes, and that's part of the culture. So I just wanted to get some education from you, man.
Okay. Great question, man. This is awesome. I'm glad you're asking this question. This is so good. So this is the question when it comes to hockey. And
Mm,
it was funny because I actually interviewed Tage Thompson. He's on the Buffalo Sabres yesterday for what we're doing in Buffalo. And he fought a guy, and he's a tall dude, but he's not a fighter. He's a skill player, right?
right.
So he fought a fighter from one of the other teams because that guy hit one of our star players on the Sabres. And so I was like, he's like, yeah, I didn't know what I was doing. I got one punched. But he's like, it was a hit that I didn't like on my buddy, and I had to go after the guy. So,
Mm.
um, a lot of people will say, you know, that maybe fighting is not godly, and I think everyone's entitled to their own opinion. But if you've played hockey and you're in the sport of hockey, it's that fighting is part of the game. It's a kind of an unwritten code that it's not unloving to fight someone. In fact, I think it's loving to fight someone. And so you look at God is a
I,
God that he's not violent. God is not violent. But if you read the Old Testament, God ordered his people to to engage in wars, right? And the Bible literally says, like, the Lord is a warrior, the Lord is his name, right? And so we don't serve a passive God. And so in hockey, it's actually more loving to fight somebody, and it's loving to that other team because you're holding them accountable, and it's also loving to your teammate, obviously, um,
wow.
to do that. So that's how I've reconciled it. You know, I don't think most hockey players, when they suit up for a game, are like, I want to hurt somebody today. I want to be mean. Like, that's not the spirit that you do it in. But it's a war when you enter the ice surface, and the officials can only do so much, right? Like, I didn't see the game last night, but I was on Twitter, and I was blowing up, and I was like, oh my God, I wonder what's going on. I haven't had a chance to check it out, but I
Right.
saw what Tom Wilson did, and it's a gutless play. Like, that he wanted to hurt like, he wants to hurt people, right? So
Yeah, yeah.
uh, I don't know if he does. I guess I can't say that, but like, what he did was a play that you don't you don't make that play. There's a mutual respect in the game of hockey where you don't do that. And what's the ref going to do? They're going to call a 2-minute penalty on him, which is nothing, right? And then he's going to get fined, and which is also nothing. And so your team is going to get pushed around if you're not engaging in this other realm of hockey. And you know, you just can't do that. Like, you play sports to win games, and if you're not doing that, you're not a competitor. And this is just part of competing. And so that's how I view it, man. I get it. I get the shtick that, you know, it's not godly. Honestly, like, I was never a fighter, and I didn't really fight when I was playing, and I actually regret it. Because I remember at least 1 or 2 times where I should have done it. And I actually feel like I was unloving to my teammates and to the sport, and I was too afraid to do it. So
you saying, I love that, bro, because I would have never even, those words would have never came out my mouth from us. And I get it. I get, like, defending your teammate for the honor of your squad. You know what I'm saying? And that you guys as hockey players, you know, y'all have that mentality. You know, yo, this is a tough sport. You're going to get banged on the boards. You know, don't be crying around here. Coach is going to get on you. You ain't going to play if you ain't carrying your weight. Because, you know, I've played football, and, you know, I was a fighter. That was my thing, man. I love that type of combat, you know, whether it's wrestling or boxing. And, you know, I had conversations with some brothers yesterday. This dude sincerely asked me, Jake, he was like, yo, you know, I wrestle, and there's a certain code in wrestling because they're very honorable, you know. And then he was talking to me as a boxer, and in boxing, we talk about the science of the sport, you know, the attrition aspect of it. But then we was talking about UFC, and we was like, you know, he was having a hard time because he seen me ministering to some guys, and he was like, yo, how do you navigate in that? And I was like, yo, it's just really a matter of the heart. You know, if you're going out there to knock a guy's teeth out, then that's tough as a hockey player, right? But if you're going in there to say, hey, man, I seen what you did to my man, and y'all over there laughing about it, and y'all think y'all going to roughhouse us, I'm going to take this penalty, but I'm going to show you that, you know, I'm going to stick up for my teammate. And, you know, I would also say that at that time in your life, Jake, maybe the Lord wanted you to not fight because you couldn't, like, for you, that's a deep thought to say, yo, this is love. I'm gonna hold these guys accountable, and this is what God says. I mean, back in the days, you might just hit a dude with a stick to win, so you're not looking like a punk, right? You know, like, so the girls could be like, oh, Jake is so tough. You know what I mean? Like, so I think it's a mentality, man. I really appreciate you sharing that. So I want to ask some questions to the people out there, see what they think. And I hope, you know, whenever this shows that you're all right with it, and that we could keep learning on how we handle things like this, because I was like, yo, this is crazy. I mean, I think they had 6 fights in the first quarter, and they was just dropping the gloves. And, you know, some of it was a little vicious, and other stuff was like, you know, oh, look at the little the little guys on skates, you know.
Yeah.
You know,
you got to give them credit though, because, you know, they don't know how to fight, but they're out there being warriors. You know, they're out there with their boys, and they're, you know, they
absolutely.
may not. So yeah, I hear you, man.
Yeah, no, I ain't trying to mess with them. That's for doggone sure. I'm
when
you can't even walk. You know, you can't even walk on skates, and these guys are throwing haymakers, bro.
Yeah. When you get in the situation, you gotta find the guy about your height and just grab him as quickly as possible, because you don't want to get matched up with the bigger dude. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Oh man. Well, man, I hope some bruises hear this, and some tough men, and realize that you know, there could be conversations as well. I know that, you know, we talking about fines, and the guy, I think you said his name was Wilson. He looked like a tough dude, man. He was just laughing like, yeah, I mush your boy, and this and that. And so we know that in the streets, and when we talk about sportsmanship, is important, because I think sometimes as Christians, they think you soft. It go like, you know, you playing ball or whatever. It's like, oh, you a softie. You know, you're not gonna stand up for your people. You're just gonna get run over. If you know, and it was like, Jesus, when he got smacked, he said, turn the other cheek. And he was like, look, man, I got control of myself. So that
Yep.
whole thing about getting slapped and then turning the other cheek is responding from the side that's not angry. And that's
So
harder
good.
than just throwing the punch back. You know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
hard. So, but man, I get it. And I thank you for educating the dude from the Bronx on the hockey science and understanding. So I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, you got it. Can I say one more thing or no?
Absolutely. Yes, sir.
So I like what you said. You know, you call me because you say you want to interview me, but you just going to prophesy to me about my past, about maybe that wasn't the time. You know, that's what you get with Pastor Frank, man. He doesn't just call you for interviews. You're going to say something. But I think what you said was actually super enlightening, and I just got it myself too. But the timing is so key. What message are you trying to communicate? If you're playing basketball in the streets, right? You're playing inner city basketball. You know, there's a fight that breaks out. Like, what message are you communicating? Do you just it's about hearing God's voice. Like what are you communicating? Love? Like, if, like you said, like maybe they're not going to take you seriously if you just get beat up, right? But if you're communicating love for your teammates and love for your boys, you could save someone by the message that you're communicating, which is you being tough in that moment. But then maybe in another instance, you take it on the cheek, you get on the cross, you die. You know, it might be a timing thing. So you brought that up.
Wow.
I just want to reiterate that point as well, man.
Man, well, Jake, you know, that's why the Bible says iron sharpens iron. And I think that's some of the conversations that men and women need to have based around sports, because we all have different opinions, and you know, there's different seasons in our lives. And you know, I really seen that what you said from a place of honor, because you know, I've played on certain teams, and if you play that, you know, that mealy mouth little pansy antsy Christian, they like, yo, man, like, you ain't
Yeah.
passionate about this. Like, coach don't even want
Right.
you to play. And then, you
Right.
know, then maybe some coaches need to realize, yo, if his conviction runs that deep, not to fight and be honorable along those ways, then that's you know, conversation you need to have with him as a coach, and just like kind of search the hearts, man. But yo, Jake, I know you mad busy, and man, tell us about the show that you got, the radio program, because I know like people could plug into that, right?
Yeah, I mean, you could find it on the website. It's in Southern Ontario and Western New York, FM radio 99.5. Just called Heart and Soul. We also have a podcast called Heart and Soul, Buffalo FCA. We interview, you know, people from our area. We've had a couple Bills guys on there, and yeah, it's pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, I would encourage anyone listening, just plug in with Pastor Frank. He's the man, and he's wise beyond his years. So get involved in FCA somehow. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Well, I appreciate you, man. Buffalo Bill fan, former hockey
Yeah.
player, you know, up in
Yep.
Buffalo, doing inner city work. Just
Yep.
a fantastic brother that understands deep relationships. And I love you, man. And God bless you. And I can't wait to see you and hang out with you personally, man.
Let's do it, man. Love you too. Have a good flight.
All right, Jake. Thanks, man.